so... It's fine. I think their offense is averaging 29 points a game. You could double check that for me, please.
Yeah, I got you.
But they're averaging like 29 points a game. They just put up 38 points last game and lost. I think they put up 30 again prior to the season, and they lost.
Yeah.
So, if they want to do anything, and I'm not going to sit here and say this is only because they lost Josh Norman. But if they come to a situation again, they have to pay a defensive player, you better believe they're going to pay a defensive player as much as he wants. Because they can't afford... This is the worst Super Bowl hangover ever.
It's pretty bad.
Ever.
It's pretty
It's
bad.
not an opinion. That's a fact.
And I you know, the crazy thing is, I don't even know... I don't think I ever...
I'm sorry, they're allowing 29 points a game.
I don't think I ever saw this. Like, think about how many people picked them to go back to the Super Bowl this year.
I mean, you look on paper and they're like, they lost three players. And you know what? Teams have lost cornerbacks before. It didn't seem like a big deal. More numbers for you. Allowing 14.1 yards to receivers per catch. They're tied for third most 20 yards for 20 passes or more. Tied for second, 40 plus yards or more. Fifth most first downs allowed by the cornerbacks to receivers. This group is terrible. I'm speechless. That's how bad they are.
You're speechless?
I'm speechless. I'm trying to think of a word that's just so bad to describe them, and I can't even come up with something.
Well, speechless is a...
Well, how many points are the Panthers averaging?
Well, I got you their touchdowns. How many touchdowns they have averaged so far in the season, and right now they're eighth.
Yeah, they're eighth. Offense. As much as we talk about, recently I heard a lot of talk about Cam Newton's completely.
Mm-hmm.
Cam Newton's not an accurate quarterback. I hate to break the people. He's not an accurate quarterback. He's never really been an accurate quarterback. If you expect him to throw 65%, you're gonna be holding your breath for a long time. He's only 2% down from his career average. He throws, I think, 59% for his career. Mm-hmm. Him throwing 57%, yeah, he's the least accurate quarterback in the league right now. But that's not far off of what he's usually been. So outside of that, their offense has really kind of been humming along. I mean, their offensive line is garbage, but outside of that, everything else has just been kind of humming along. And their touchdowns, the passing touchdowns, the rushing game has, I think, hurt a little bit. But everything else has just been fine. It's literally just been their defense is so bad.
For me, is that everybody neglects the fact that, I mean, Jonathan Stewart hasn't been fully healthy. He hasn't been fully healthy. Those losses in you can't start rookies. I just don't understand. What makes anybody think it's okay to start a rookie against Julio Jones? I to this day, you know when that happened? In all fantasy leagues everywhere, I felt bad for whoever was playing against Julio Jones, because he single-handedly could have carried that team. That man had 36 points in fantasy that day. That's just crazy. Like, there's no... What makes...
For people who missed it,
I just can't...
How many yards did Julio Jones have?
He had 300 receiving... Like, 300 yards!
Did he have, like, 20 catches?
No!
So he had, probably, like, 10, 12 catches and 300 yards.
How many yards in average that is?
That's a lot.
I'm so disgusted.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, their secondary is just so, like, I've never seen a secondary sink a team. I've seen some bad secondaries. The Eagles, Chip Kelly's Eagles secondary with Kerry Williams and I forget who the other cornerback was. Oh. They were probably They were a terrible pair.
But the thing is, with the Eagles though, they were leading in time, and they were the worst team in time of possession that year with Chip Kelly because his offense was so fast. These guys are ranked 28th in passing defense. That's their secondary, and it's because they banked so much on their front seven that now even their linebacking core with Thomas Davis, Luke Kuechly, and the boys. They're not able to get to the quarterback, so they're not getting as much pressure as they anticipated they would have gotten.
You can't get to the quarterback if they can throw the ball in like 2 seconds after they drop back. If their secondary is just letting them run free, I mean, it's hard for the front seven to even get to them.
So what do you think they got to do to like turn everything around? Because
there's no redeeming this season.
You said it's over?
I mean, it's 1-5. How many teams have went to the Super Bowl from 1-5?
I mean, think about it. They won.
Sorry, not even Super Bowl. How many teams are going to the playoffs? How many teams have gone from 1-5 to 500?
I mean, okay, I guess I'm being a bit optimistic here.
You are.
But they went 15-1 last season.
Okay.
Obviously showing their ability to string together wins, even though, granted, last year people
Yeah,
that last year the Panthers 15-1 is hard to do. Don't get me wrong, but the Panthers weren't exactly playing top tier teams last season. They only played 4 playoff teams out of that 16 game season. They played 4 teams that made the playoffs last year, and they obviously lost 2-1. So when you look at those things, and a lot of those games were really close. When you say all out of the Giants game and other games, the last game against the Falcons, sort of things like that. When they actually lost, but you look at those kind of things and you're like, well, the Panthers, you started seeing these things start to develop as the season went on, and then obviously it manifested itself in the Super Bowl, and then they pretty much lost a lot of their cornerback talent. So yeah, so now that you see their schedule is really difficult to see, because they're playing a good amount of the NFC West this year.
Do you see them beating the Cardinals?
Beating the Cardinals?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. That's a tough one.
Cardinals currently leading 7-3.
Yes. No.
How about the Rams?
Yeah.
More optimistic than I am. How about the Chiefs?
Dang, this is actually no.
Saints?
Yes.
Raiders?
Yes.
No. Seahawks?
Yes.
Chargers?
Yes.
Redskins?
Yes.
Falcons?
They already lost him once. Yes.
And Bucks?
Yes.
Absolutely not. You just had them winning about 8 games for the season.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
It's possible.
You know what, people? I want you to go ahead and mark this down. Go ahead and write this down as finals. They're gonna lose to the Rams. They're gonna lose to the Chiefs. They're gonna beat the Saints. Lose to the Raiders. Lose to the Seahawks. Beat the Chargers. Lose to the Redskins. Lose to the Falcons. Beat the Bucks. That puts them at about 5 wins, which is probably what about they are this season.
Well, see, the thing is, I was stuck on the Rams one because the Rams are a good pass rushing team.
I can't believe you said they're gonna beat the Rams.
I was really stuck on it, and then I thought about what do the Rams do best? They run the ball best, but they haven't been able to run the ball this season. Even though the Panthers have
not just watch
us get stomped out by the Lions, the Todd Gurley, and have 50-something rushing yards.
Who's your quarterback again?
Casey Keenum.
Casey Keenum.
He just threw for 300-something yards against the Lions.
Did you not just see what he just did?
Yeah, but I don't know. It's not consistency. He's not a consistent quarterback.
Most completions in most.
Yeah, remember your stat.
No, it's not a stat. It's, I saw it in glancing. I was surprised. I thought it was gonna be a bad stat for Case Keenum, but man, what was it? The most consecutive completions.
Oh yeah.
19.
Man, I don't care about that. What happened? We lost.
Almost 20.
We lost. We lost.
So looking at the negative. You're looking at the bad side of things.
I'm not looking at the bad side. I'm looking at the true side of things, which is that L.
Anyway.
And the L that I think that the Panthers would hand.
I think franchise quarterback Casey Keenum can tear apart this.
Wait.
Did you not?
Wait.
Also, with the emergence,
with
the emergence of
Nigel,
Kenny Britt.
No, stop.
Kenny Britt had what?
Nigel,
2 touchdowns?
Stop. No. I'm not answering another question. I'm not answering another question. What did you just say about Casey Keenum?
Franchise quarterback Casey Keenum. Come on. Who's sitting on the bench right now?
Nigel, you just called Casey Keenum a franchise quarterback?
Who's sitting on the bench?
Nigel.
Your franchise quarterback's getting sitting on the bench.
Nigel, wait a minute. Did you just call Casey Keenum a franchise quarterback?
With the emergence of Kenny Britt as well. Come on. You really don't think they're going to be...
Nigel, I will leave the set right now, bro. Nigel,
I'll George right there.
You really...
No, come on.
I was like, no way. I was like, there's no way. Like, I was really about to be... I was at a doubt every single amount of intellect.
Anyway, as I was saying, they're not going to beat the Rams. You can put the lock on that. Call me crazy, they're not going to beat the Chiefs. I can see them beating the Saints. They should beat the Saints this week, really. They're not going to beat the Raiders. Can't believe you said it. I can't believe you even thought they were going to beat the Seahawks. That's ridiculous. Come on.
They did last season.
Yeah, last season. It's in the last season.
You're right.
They might beat the Chargers. Phillip Rivers against that defense. I trust Phillip Rivers. I don't. The Redskins are playing great offense and defense right now. Go ahead and take them on that. And who was that last game? The Bucks. They can probably beat the Bucks.
Well, what about their franchise quarterback Cam Newton in his post-game press conference where he wasn't really where he wasn't really too talkative with the reporters, giving short answers, kind of similar to the Super Bowl, but he didn't exactly storm off in the same fashion. But he answered a few questions, gave a few no comments. or next questions, and then eventually ended up leaving. What do you think of that from Cam Newton after what we saw in the Super Bowl and then this past Sunday?
I find it hard to be riled up about these things. Look, it was after the game, right?
Yeah.
Just lost. His defense gave up 41 points. He had just gotten down the field and scored for them to put him up. To put him up, not even, I think, a minute and some change left in the game. So I imagine he's pretty frustrated. What am I going to take from this? Cam Newton's a big baby or something like? I don't know what I'm supposed to take from it.
Some people would.
Some people would. Some people would. Some people are gonna look at this like, man, this guy ain't a franchise quarterback because he don't answer questions to the media. And stuff. I mean, you know what? If some people like to judge their transfer franchise quarterbacks on what they say to the media, I'm not gonna argue with them. It's just I'm not. Does it affect them on the field? No, not really. It doesn't really matter to me.
Oh, I think it's one of those things that Cam, I think this is just what I don't know what people want to see from Cam, and I don't know what people want Cam to be. But
let me answer that question for you. I know exactly what they want. They want him and every other quarterback, a nice little robot who comes out, just answers the questions, says "Thank you, sir," and leaves. That's all they want. That's all every single person wants. They don't want any kind of individuality. They don't want any kind of disruption in the system or anything like that. They want them to methodically move along and not cause any problems. And some people want that, some people don't. It doesn't matter to me, really.
Well, yeah, because I essentially see that when it's weird. This is weird to me that when Cam Newton, because they make so much of a big deal of it when guys, because he's just a bad loser. That's it. But I don't. Like he said, I don't know. I don't remember the last time I saw a good loser. I remember the last time we were supposed to celebrate a good loser. So I don't understand what the essence of this is.
It's just like the whole Odell thing. Like we blew up the Odell thing. Oh, it was all over the radio waves. Odell this, Odell that. Have they figured out Odell? Is Odell not a good football player anymore?
And that's the thing that makes no sense to me because Odell made a joke of the kicking net thing. Like he's getting past it, making a joke of it. Now people are saying the joke's carrying on for too long. That he should know when to let the joke die. That it's kind of distaste because he took his helmet off after he got the touchdown. I understand he got the 15-yard penalty to do that, but now people are turning it to they're still talking distraction talk when literally I don't get it anymore. He's not exploding anymore. I don't get it. I don't get it.
It's not that he didn't explode. He won them the game. Had 222 yards post game that game. They were talking about his penalty. What? He won. Not kind of like, well, he played a big hand. No, he won them the game. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. What we still talking about? His post game, his penalty that he got that could have potentially lost them the game, but it didn't.
Yeah.
So all the talk about the personality, I kind of tuned it out.
And it's like those things that people, and it's people focusing on what they want to focus in because you look at it. Odell, there was a pick that could have happened on that last drive on the Ravens. One of
the pick.
Joe Flacco, he could have thrown a pick, and one of the